am unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
I am unbeatable. Couple minutes not a score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
We've got a special Monday game here on the British Basketball League YouTube channel as the Manchester Giants welcome the Sheffield Sharks. This is the first time Sheffield have visited the National Basketball Performance Centre in Manchester in the league this season, but they will do with confidence. The Sharks are up 2-0 in the series and they're up against a Manchester team who have won just once in their last 10. It's the 1st of April, so we're joshing around. Josh Bett is alongside Josh Steele of the Surrey Scorchers, and they're nobody's fools.
Well, thank you, Jeanette, and welcome, Basel fans, to the Manchester Arena for this game in the British Basketball League between our hosts, the Manchester Giants, and the visitors, the Sheffield Sharks. Well, good evening, Basel fans, and tonight I'm alongside a very special guest, the legend of the Surrey Scorchers, Josh Steele.
Josh Steele on the fast break dunk.
Oh, Josh Steele attacking the rim.
Steele in the corner for three.
Well, welcome, Basel fans. You get the benefit of two Joshes tonight here for the commentary of Josh Steele. Welcome to this game, a big matchup between the Manchester Giants and the Sheffield Sharks.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I think Legends laying it on a little bit thick, though, but thank you. But yeah, should be a good one tonight.
Well, going to this big game, let's take a look at some of the key starting matchups here for tonight. We'll begin with the host, the Manchester Giants. Well, the Giants, of course, will be starting with Mason Borsier in the backcourt, along with Nicholas Lewis, Jamal Anderson, along with William Lee, and, of course, Stampley, your starting five for your Manchester Giants. While the visitors coming from the proud county of Yorkshire, they will go with a very interesting starting lineup of RJ Idlerock, along with Green and DeVell Ramsey. Ratino will also be in the backcourt, but it'll all be about the big man, Bennett Cook. Well, Josh Steele, we got to talk about some of the key players to look out for. Jamal Anderson, he is one of those names tonight.
Yeah, Jamal's been great for Manchester all season, and with their postseason on the line tonight, they're going to be looking for some inspirational basketball from him.
Well, the other player you want to look out for Sheffield Sharks is RJ Idlerock. What can we say about him?
Well, he's been playing great since the international break, and I just want to keep seeing him play to that level. As a BA alum, I love to see it.
Well, Basel fans, almost 25 years ago, these two teams met in a game that would decide who would win the league championship. Both teams were coached by NBA legends, and as the great Dan Routledge said, Myers for the league. Both Chris Finch and, of course, Nick Nurse of the NBA respectively coached these two teams. One of the most iconic moments in British basketball, but the question will be, will we get the same excellence, the same nostalgia here this evening? Well, of course, Basel fans, we will take a short break and we will be back momentarily. of course, it was back on the 2nd of April back in 1999 when these two teams met at the Manchester Arena. And, you know, Josh, as we just saw, our colleague, the great Dan Routledge, possibly called the greatest game in the history of this league.
Yeah, I think it is. I think, like you said, with the people who played in that game and just how that game finished and where the teams were at in that time, I think, yeah, you might be right. It might be one of the most iconic moments in British basketball history.
And, of course, we want to bring that here this evening. The Manchester Giants, it's been a rocky season for them, but Sheffield Sharks, I mean, this team, they've been like a roller coaster at times, but, you know, they've won 3 out of their last 4. This looks like a team that could be strong playoff contenders. And, you know, you've had some good games against them. It's been relatively tough games in the Surrey Scorchers, but our 3 referees tonight, our crew chief is Kate Unsworth, and, of course, we have Steve Ellis and Kevin Kinsella. But going back to the Sheffield Sharks, what makes them such a good basketball team?
I think they're pretty consistent on the defensive end. TB always does a good job of getting his guys to. They don't make a lot of mistakes on defense. So first of all, you got to deal with that. And traditionally, they like to slow the game down a lot, and teams struggle with that. Not a lot of teams do. We like to go up and down. But recently, the Sharks have kind of found a new identity. They're trying to push the board a lot more, and I think it's working well for them. They've got some dynamic guards that like to get going, get downhill. So yeah, it's working for them right now.
Well, Malik Green has been their top scorer so far. He's been averaging 15.5 points per game. I mean, but there's other players that have been contributing. The likes of Bennett Cook, the big man, just averaging under 10 points per game for the Sharks. And of course, this is a rivalry that stems back in the history of British basketball. The county of Yorkshire meeting the county of Lancashire. Welcome, Basel fans. Let's get this one underway. Well, Basel fans, we do apologize for the technical issues we are facing with the clock. We are trying to sort this out momentarily. It's now IJ Idlerock. Of course, coming from the infamous Barking Academy like you, Josh Steele. I mean, that's one of the top basketball academies. As time is winding down, have to get something going. Goes in and around. Good defense by William Lee. Already Giants trying to protect the paint at all costs.
Yeah, we'd like to see that early, but they're going to need a big defensive effort from them tonight. I didn't like the word, what do you use? Infamous Barking Abbey. I think better word you use there instead for Barking Abbey.
Apologies.
Yeah. I don't know about infamous, man. It makes us sound like supervillains or something.
I'd say the opposite.
Yeah. Prolific might be a better word. The prolific Barking Abbey Academy.
The Avengers of British Basketball's Academy. I love it. Of course, had some great games against them back in the day. The great Mark Clark starting that academy back in 2005. And, you know, many great players who have featured in the British Basketball League have come from the great Barking Abbey. But
yeah, definitely got a massive fingerprint on the league at the moment, for sure.
Well, Brian Simonian, head coach of the Manchester Giants. You know, when we look at this Manchester Giants team, they've had to deal with injuries in the early season. But, you know, what is missing from making this team a playoff contender?
Consistency is one. I think consistency is important if you ever want to be a postseason team. And yeah, I would just say that's that. I think night in and night out, they just need to know how they're scoring and just being consistent on defense.
Well, Giants getting the first field goal of the game, finding Nick Stampley inside the paint. Sharks trying to settle into an offense. Idlerock coming off one screen, nowhere to go here. Green going back to it again. That's just way too easy. And the help side defense, nowhere to be seen, Josh Steele.
Yeah, none, but it was great recognition on the cut there. Slips into the high post and able to find himself a nice finish.
Well, Lewis being heavily defended by DeVell Ramsey, almost turning it over. That's going to remain Giants ball with 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, and Sheffield's not really a team that will necessarily turn up the heat on defense this early, so I like to see that from Ramsey, you know, picking up as soon as the ball crosses the half court, letting them know that, you know, you're going to have to earn these points.
Well, Steve Lyons, once a former player with the Sheffield Sharks, and then taking on the head coaching duties, taking over after the great Peter Scanterbury, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame by the British Basketball League at the All-Star Weekend, as we saw. All-Star Weekend or All-Star Game?
All-Star Day, right?
We'll
get there. We'll get to a weekend someday.
I was happily watching that game in the far east of Vietnam, in the mountains.
Really, that's not a bad place to watch it from. Yeah, I was down there. It was nice. It was a good vibe. It's a good vibe. It would be really interesting to see that, you know, that day grow and, yeah, again, maybe even be a weekend, but it was a good event. Very good event.
Well, Basel fans, we do apologize. We're just trying to figure out a few issues that we are facing with the clock at the moment. So Kate Unsworth, our crew chief referee, is just kindly asking players to go to their bench. Chance now for coaches to have a chance to speak with their players. Still early time here. 8:44 left here in the first quarter. You know, a lot of people have been talking about, you know, getting ready for the postseason. You guys are along with Bristol. Bristol picking up a very big victory yesterday against Cheshire Phoenix. For you as a player, where do you think Surrey Scorchers stand a better matchup? Against Cheshire Phoenix, Caledonia, or the London Lions?
Well, I don't want to see Caledonia for the main reason I don't want to go to Caledonia 2 more times this season. We've been enough.
What's wrong with Scotland?
It's just the trip, man. It's a brutal trip for us. So, yeah, honestly, I'm happy seeing anybody in the playoffs, man. I think we've had enough games with people that we feel like we can compete with anybody in this league. So, yeah, it's just on the day, really, on the day. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see anyone. But like I said, I'm not trying to go back up to Scotland this year.
Now, you rejoined the Surrey Scorchers last year. It was your second time. It's now your second time playing for the club.
Yeah.
Last season was very tough. You guys went through a lot of injuries, a lot of players unavailable for games. But what's been about this season that's made you guys have a little bit more swag, a bit more confidence in your play?
Yeah, I think just being able to not have to deal with so many injuries, at least like across our roster, and having people come in and come out, it's been a lot easier for us to find an identity and get used to playing with each other. I think that's helped us out a lot. We've had that ability to now come together and grow in a place last season and even the beginning of this season where we'd be close in a game and might not finish or let games slip, but you know, through us being together for a much longer period of time, I think we do a better job in winning games now.
Well, that was the first 2 buckets of the game. Stampley getting a wide open look inside the paint, and you like the way Green just went back door. But you know, you made a very good point. Sheffield not known for stepping up the tempo, turning up the tempo early on with the defense.
No, absolutely not. They are known for slowing the tempo right down on both ends. You know, they like to play in the half court, and in defense they're just much more conservative. They used to be in the right spots. They're not really a disruptive team. So it'll be interesting to see here if they're trying to, you know, change their identity on the defensive end as well as on offense.
Well, the Sharks losing their previous game to the Leicester Riders at home, but you know, interestingly, they got back-to-back victories against the Newcastle Eagles, winning 87-77, and of course again winning 9 days later, 91-83. So Sheffield, one of those teams on their night, they can beat almost anybody in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I think that they've found a nice trend now, changing. They've got the dynamic guards. They want to get going in the open court, and I think it's working well for them, just letting their guards play free. Yeah, it's clearly working.
Well, Basel fans, the postseason is upon us, and again, if you haven't done so already, make sure you book your tickets for the 2024 British Basel Playoff Final, and it is going to be an exciting event at the O2 Arena. And let me tell you something, that is possibly one of the best arenas, not only in Great Britain, but also in Europe. I mean, many great finals have been hosted at the O2, the EuroLeague final back in 2013. Every year, you know, in the past few seasons, we have hosted the final. Get your tickets, get there today on the 19th of May, 2024.
Yeah, that should be good. It's an absolute spectacle. I haven't played at the O2, but being there watching the games, it's got to be no better feeling than that.
Now, the other question is, who's getting to that playoff final?
Surrey Scorchers,
Surrey
right?
Scorchers.
It's an obvious answer.
Well, I don't want to be a self-confessed Surrey Scorchers fan. Yeah, very hope. I mean, it's going to be a great final. Of course, last season's final was quite exciting. I mean, we've had 2 finals in a row where it's been London Lions versus Leicester Riders. The Riders winning in 2022, the Lions winning last season. Who knows who will get there this season, of course, but one thing for sure is the atmosphere is going to be absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Well, Brian Simonian just having a talking moment with the referee. I'm not quite sure if he does yoga there, but deep, slow breathing.
Yeah, he might be nervous. Like I said, postseason is on the line right now, so for sure, he's definitely feeling that this is a big game for the franchise.
Well, Basel fans, we do thank you for your patience, and I think we're now ready to get things back underway. 8:44 to go here. These two teams locked in at 2 apiece. This is the British Basel League matchup between the Sheffield Sharks and our hosts, the Manchester Giants. Giants getting this one inbound with Mason Borsier in the backcourt. Tries to pull up for 15. Tough contested shots. The Sharks come up with a rebound. Ramsey finding Bennett Cook. Tino here heavily defended by Borsier. Trying to find RJ Idlerock. Idlerock penetrates, bit of contact, gets rejected. Wow, William Lee just said, no in mi casa, not in my house.
You know, that's kind of uncharacteristic for RJ as well. He usually likes to get 2 feet, throw up a couple fakes. So, yeah, surprise there, but 2 people come over with the block.
Stampley got that one.
Yeah.
Double block. Well, don't send those 2 guys a Facebook friend request, that's for sure. Green unable to knock down the 3-pointer. Lewis going for a cross-court pass. Tough catch by Jamel Anderson. Well, I thought there was contact, no foul calls.
Yeah, Jamel loves to get these nice, easy ones after in transition. He'll quite often just ignore the rebound, go and leak out, and go and get himself a nice, easy 2 points. That helps Manchester a lot, like, you know, generate some easy scores when they're not scoring so much in the half court.
Well, you like to see that from Nick Lewis. I mean, he is a volume perimeter mid-range shooter. But when he gets to the bucket, he is quite effective when he gets inside the paint.
Yeah, he's a decent finisher as well, man. I mean, he's a professional scorer. That is what he does. That's what he's on the roster to do. So, you know, any good scorer has an ability to get to the free throw line. It's really important.
Converts a three-point play for the Giants. Trying to pick up Devell Ramsey full court. As he penetrates, goes in all the way. This time avoids the block. And again, avoids the bucket. Giants looking to extend. Oh, technical foul's going to be called. I think it's going to be called against the Atiba Lions.
I said I didn't see what happened.
Atiba Lions infuriated now.
Guess he wanted the foul.
Yeah.
Guess he wanted the foul. Manchester got away with one, luckily, though. Like, pressuring is all well and good, but if you're just going to get blown by, there's no point. You may as well stay in front of your man and, you know, not give up 2 points or, you know, free throws.
Well, Lewis currently at the free throw line here for the Manchester Giants. It's interesting with Atiba Lions because, you know, usually when you see him coaching, he's very passionate, gets very into the game, but you speak to him off the court, he's possibly one of the kindest guys you'll ever talk to. Yeah,
he's a very chill guy, and you don't really want to see it this early in the game. I don't think there's a necessary need to kick off that early at the referees. It's very early call, like, you know, mistakes happen, they missed it. I'm sure there'll be another call just like that, which might be better to challenge.
Giants leading by 4 points. Again, everything on the line here this evening. We'll see if finds William Lee off the pick and pop. Big man fires a three and just rattles its way in with a shooter's touch.
Yeah, you don't want to give him too many looks like that. Once he starts rolling and starts feeling his shot, that's what he likes to do. He wants to shoot jump shots, so you can't just gift him them.
Well, we talk about the injuries that the Giants have had to endure. I mean, William Lee, not only this season, but also, well, here we go. Anderson coming up with a steal, but good recovery defense by Devell Ramsey. Goes for a quick three-pointer. Now, I got to ask you, shot selection, was that the right one to go for?
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, I give a lot of credit to Jamel as a shooter, but that's not really the one you want to take. You just, you know, work so hard getting the ball back. You got an extra possession, you may as well use the clock.
Ida Rock here on the perimeter, trying to attack Boursier. Well, Cook doesn't take many three-pointers, but had his opportunity there.
Thought about it.
Green shaking, baking, goes for a tough fadeaway. That's good defense. And that's what Jamel Anderson brings you, both ends of the floor. He's a very reliable player.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think a lot of the Giants players need to look to that this game. When things get tough, he's definitely going to be giving them energy on the defensive end, making plays. He's already got a steal, and like you said, just then forced a tough shot.
Well, that time, William Lee unable to knock down the mid-range. Green trying to go inside the paint, in and around the defense. Again, amongst two players, that's a tough play.
Yeah, you got to be careful of him, man. Help needs to flood to him, because as soon as he catches the ball, he's thinking about scoring. He's not thinking about anything else. So the help's got to be super aware of him when he catches the ball.
Second field goal for Green so far, and for the Sheffield Sharks.
Interesting he thought about that shot there.
Oh, he's gone for the step back. This time again, no problem.
Makes it anyway.
But his confidence, I mean, you credit him for being a good shooter, and I agree with you. And it's why when someone has that kind of caliber and that kind of confidence, well, goes in. No in, Mikasa. One more time. Well, Stampley not allowing anybody inside the paint tonight. This man elevated to the summit and just saw Bennett Cook. Take that one out of it, please. Take it back to Yorkshire.
Yeah, love that. Great rotation on defense to stop the easy basket.
Well, quick bucket already made now by the Sharks. Cutting the deficit down to 5 points. Just over halfway to go here in the first quarter. Anderson trying to go in around the defense. It's off Eurostep, just a little too strong off the backboard.
You can already see here, he's already looking to be aggressive today.
Sharks looking to make this a one-possession ball game. Patiently passing the ball around the paint. Cook gets a seal-off, big man goes up, and you know, that is the old-fashioned post play that, you know, many would argue we don't see in today's modern game of basketball.
No, you don't really, but like I said, that's the kind of basketball Atiba likes to play, and their patience paid off. That's a great look. You got, you know, a big like Bennett Cook, 2 feet, sealed in the paint. You can't ask for a better shot than that.
Nicholas Lewis, the former Sheffield Shark, missing. I believe he did have his foot on the line. Sharks trailing by 3 points. Cook thought about it, finds RJ Adderrock. Finds Rotino inside the paint. Just gets his pocket picked, and it's the Sharks' turnover. Good defense by the Giants for Basel fans. 4:52 to go here in the first quarter. Currently, Manchester Giants, the hosts, lead this one 12-9 here against the Sheffield Sharks. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back momentarily. Take that one out of it. Well, of course, Basel fans, it was a three-pointer by Jordan Rotino that we did miss. Of course, he becomes the second player to get on the score sheet tonight for the Sheffield Sharks. And it's an interesting shooting technique he has. It's almost like the former, do you remember Sean Marion, who played in the NBA?
Yeah.
It's a very low release, but it's effective.
Yeah, it does. I feel like a lot of shooters nowadays shoot with quite a low release. Steph Curry is a low release. Trae Young is a low release. Yeah, it's effective. Consistency is the only thing that matters when it comes to shooting.
The foul has been committed by Nicholas Lewis. Another turnover for the Giants. Still a three-point ball game to the hosts. Of course, he spent the majority of his career playing for Atiba Lions at the Sheffield Sharks. Did play one season for the London Lions back in 2016-17. Am I correct that that's the year you played for Surrey as well?
Yeah, it was 2017-2018. That was my rookie year.
Oh, so it was the season after. That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite a good team you guys had, didn't you?
Yeah, decent. That was the last time we made the playoffs.
Alex Awumi.
Yeah, Alex Awumi, Taylor was on the team, Gerald Robinson, Tony Hicks.
Tony Hicks, and he came back to play during the lockdown. I mean, that was probably one of the strongest Surrey teams from the Guildford Heat, compared to Guildford Heat days, of course.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, Lewis fires another three-pointer. Well, they're giving him time and space. One thing about Nicholas Lewis, he is a volume three-point shooter. Yeah,
he's not going to turn any down. So, like, same with William Lee. You don't want to just gift them open shots. Everything's got to be challenged. You don't want him to get any kind of rhythm.
Pipkins into the game now for Sheffield. Cook from the mid-range. Well, big man does occasionally knock him down from 15 feet, and why not?
Yeah, you love that when your big can hit shots like that. You know, it keeps the defense honest, so it's a good look for them.
Well, Anderson just stumbling inside the paint, finds William Lee. Trying to respond to it, can't get it. Green with a big rebound. Sharks looking to take the lead. Green crossing over, in and around again. Beautiful play.
Yeah, it's a fantastic move. Fantastic move.
It's all about the crossover.
Yeah, I know, right? Didn't know he had that. Kind of surprised.
Well, he is their top scorer, averaging 15 points per game. So far in the 10 games he's played for the Sheffield Sharks. Now we're under 10 here on the shot clock. Anderson trying to isolate. Sheffield trying to stand strong on defenses with just over 3 minutes. I got to ask as well, you like the patient build-up here from Sheffield. They like to go for a few ball reverses, but they really like to dump the ball inside the paint quite a lot.
Yeah, they do, and like we said, Basketball's not really played that way anymore. But you know, they have Bennett Cook on the inside, and I think it's important to get the ball inside to him because he draws a lot of gravity. You know, the defense, they pay a lot of attention to him, and you know, Green likes to be in that high post area, so it works well for them. It works well for them.
Of course, to all of our viewers watching, you know, we talk about tactics, X's and O's. What is the significance of throwing the ball into paint? You may not always get a post move or a post back down or a quick bucket, but you know, what does that do to the defense if you throw the ball inside to the post?
Well, first of all, you're most likely going to get the defense stopping and looking at the ball. So heads are turned, it's a perfect opportunity for cuts to catch defenders sleeping. But it's also, it draws a lot of attention because the ball's really, really close to the basket. So defenses start to worry, they overhelp, and you know, that's when you get open shots, open cuts. So yeah, just having the ball near the basket is a threat.
Of course, one of the centers, you know, I'm a massive fan for is Saquon Jameson. And I think, honestly, he is possibly a very underrated back-to-the-post player.
Yeah, I think so. We like to throw the ball inside to him sometimes because like he's stronger than most guys. So, you know, again, that gravity demands a lot of attention. He gets 2 feet in the paint, defenses worry.
But we give a lot of credit to his intangibles. He's a great rebounder, he's a great rim protector. But my word, you throw the ball to that guy in the post, you mentioned he'll make things happen. Retino hitting the top of the backboard. That might be April's Fool's coming. Boursier trying to go himself, again hitting nothing. Sharks with a chance to push, but Boursier committing a foul.
A very scrappy game in transition for both teams at the moment. Not finishing anything clean, getting opportunities and pushing the ball, but need to do a better job executing in those advantage situations.
Of course, these two clubs over the history in the British Basketball League, some great names have been coaches and players. We mentioned Chris Finch, Nick Nurse. Finch being with the Sheffield Sharks, he also was a player for them back in the day. Nurse was a former player with the former team called the Derby Rams, but then also became a coach with the Giants. But even Jim Brandon was a part of this lineup. Phil Handy was a member of the Manchester Giants in 99-2000. So a lot of history as they go to Green inside the paint. Green goes up, and that's Stampley's third block of the first quarter still.
A block all by himself.
Tell you. Hail Mary 3, and that's going to be a 24-second violation. Well, Anderson's only just delayed play a little bit more, but I believe he's got 3 of those.
Yeah, he has. He's been chucking it up. He's trying to be aggressive tonight.
It's part of the bunnies in him, of course. Yeah. I think he's just a little bit hungry to play tonight.
Yeah, like I said, postseason is on the line tonight, so there's definitely, you know, a lot of emotion, a lot of adrenaline. He's definitely he's on game tonight.
Well, they've actually given, well, interesting. Stampley actually has 2 blocks. The other 2 went to William Lee.
That's tough.
So we'd have to have a debate over that one when they blocked it together.
That's tough. I'm sure they'll be talking about that in the locker room after the game.
I think they will be. Well, Anderson's made 1-3, contested. Green, hand in his face, can't get it. So now Glasgow Jr. comes into the game. And, you know, the depth in the Sheffield Sharks, the amount of backcourt players that they have are so talented. You know, come postseason, they might be a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it's important to have depth in your team, man. You know, you don't really want to miss a beat when your starters come out, and you know, Sheffield have that luxury that they can make rotations in the guard position, and they don't lose a lot of firepower.
Well, you just saw it there with Jalen Pipkins, went in with a Euro step and just dissected the defense down, as Sheffield have a 3-point lead. Biggest lead of the game now for the visitors.
Yeah, and I think most teams in the league would be pretty happy if they have a guy like Jalen Pipkins coming off the bench for them. No, I don't think anyone's going to be mad about that.
Well, good defense by Pipkins. Stampley offensive rebound, unable to get it, but he draws a foul. Well, Pipkins did everything right there on defense. Just Sheffield were unable to box this man out because tonight he's on a mission.
Yeah, no, and these are the small details that win games. You know, you can do everything right on defense, but it doesn't matter if you don't come up with a board. You know, we always say defense, you know, defense shot clock shouldn't be, it's not 24 seconds, you play for 30 seconds. You know, it's not over until you get that rebound.
Of course, Pipkins, not only has he played in the British Basketball League, but also played professional basketball in Finland prior to coming to the league. Of course, his NCAA career is a very solid player, but he's interesting to play. Height-wise, maybe just a little bit undersized, but strength-wise, and you know, we do see him time and time step out to the perimeter. He's a very unique player for Manchester.
Yeah, he is. He's one of these in-between sort of players. He's not quite a 4, not quite a guard. I think that almost benefits you sometimes in this league, where size at that position isn't the most important thing. But yeah, he doesn't play like his size at all. He plays much bigger than he is.
Both free throws made, cutting it down to a 1-point ball game. Rodney Glasgow Jr. in the backcourt here for the Sharks. Sheffield still leading by 1 point. Pipkins here. Well, they're going to call an illegal screen against Kipper Nichols.
I didn't see it. I'd like to see that again.
The game has definitely progressed over the years. I mean, the margin for error whenever you're setting screens. Have a look at the replay.
Yeah, it's a tough call to make.
Oh, no, it's on it. My apologies. It's actually on Jordan Rotino, yeah.
Rotino.
So my apologies to Kipper Nichols. So now Del Besh is going to come into the game. Sheffield going slightly bigger with the lineup at the moment as Rotino will check out. A team of lies, you gotta love that.
Yeah, he's
What
on
they
them
say,
today.
the picture says 1,000 words.
Yeah, he's on the referees today, making sure they're doing their job right.
Levin Walsh also subbing into the game for the Manchester Giants. Jones looking to isolate the former Sharks player, played one season for them. So he's unable to hit the mid-range.
Tell you what, playing with Callum Jones, I know he doesn't miss too many of those mid-range shots. Of course, used to call him mid-range Cam.
It's the son of the great Jeff Jones. As Rodney Glasgow Jr. hits a three-point. Now it's a 4-point lead to Sheffield. 8 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Stapley in the corner. What? Harris, excuse me. Tries to isolate, pulls up from the mid-range. Jones may be getting away with a push in the back there. So now Sheffield can have the final shot of the first quarter. Trying to isolate, nowhere to go. Draws a contact, doesn't get the and one. That's not the foul they want to be giving away, Josh Still.
No, not at all. I mean, they did a good job on defense. You know, he had to come up with something at the end and they bailed him out. Even, you know, just shooting this is a tough shot, and then you don't want to give him free throws as well.
Well, Princess Nixon, I mean, such an intelligent basketball player. You can see he's running circles around those ball screens, and it's the shifting, the shaking, just finding that gap, and it's the contact he makes.
Yeah, he's a crafty player and he's good at making contact. I always say, you know, the player who makes contact first wins, and, you know, he's good at searching out that contact to make it in his advantage.
Well, Nixon makes them both. 6-point lead to the Sharks. Walsh goes long. Well, finds it. Lee goes from 18. Shot is up. Doesn't get it. Well, Basel fans, end of the first quarter. And indeed, Sheffield Sharks lead this one by 6 points. We'll take a short break. And as always, we will be back momentarily. Welcome back, Basel fans. We're live here at the Manchester Arena, a sellout crowd here this evening. Of course, these Giants fans hoping that the future will be a little bit brighter and maybe a little bit greener. Of course, Josh Steele, you did play for the Manchester Giants, and you guys made it to the former British Basketball Cup final, only to lose to the Leicester Riders, but that was a monumental season for you guys. It was the first time you'd made the playoffs since 2013-14, in which the Giants had lost the Sharks, but that was a great season when you played there for Lloyd Gardner.
Yeah, it was awesome to be a part of the Giants that season. You know, I enjoy the opportunity to be part of rebuilding a franchise and making history, and yeah, that was fun. We had a lot of success that year.
Well, of course, that season was monumental. Even the season prior, I mean, especially when Lloyd Gardner came in, because for so many years, they had so many coaching issues, of course, at the club. But, you know, the season was bright that year, and you thought could build on that. But, of course, Lloyd Gardner then went and joined Surrey Scorchers. The team was obviously very talented last year, but obviously get knocked out of the playoffs. But let's have a look at the replay here. Here was the penetration. Foul is going to be called against Evan Walsh, I believe.
Let's see if we can get to the line and knock down these two freebies.
Well, Jalen Pipkins currently at the free throw line here for the Sheffield Sharks. Another very exciting player who has joined the British Basketball League this season. 77% free throw shooter for Pipkins. Now, what's it like to play or defend him?
It's difficult. It's really difficult because you've got the threat of him going to the rim, but he's also an exceptionally good pull-up shooter. So he's really good in that mid-range. So yeah, it's very difficult. You constantly just have to kind of pick your poison a little bit, and I usually try and force him into tough looks in the mid-range and heavily contest, and hope for the best.
Well, Anson went for another three-pointer. Callum Jones getting the rebound. They're going to call a foul here on the ground, I believe, against Rodney Glasgow Jr. So it will be a baseline ball to the Giants. Let's have a look at the replay here. Here was the follow-up by Callum Jones. Coming up with loose ball. It's a little bit too late on the closeout, I guess.
Yeah, it's absolutely the right call. And it's not a terrible foul either. You'd rather them take it out of bounds than get beat to the basket.
Well, Walsh going for a deep three-pointer, just hitting the front iron. Both teams scrapping on the ground, but now can Sheffield go for a double-digit lead? Well, they go for three in transition. Three is up and beautifully tucked away. Well, Nixon maybe feeling the confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great time to get an open look from three. It's nice. You just have to run in, step into your shot. It's like practice.
Well, here we go. Here we go. Delpesh elevating. Well, there is one man you don't want to give a free runway to. I mean, this guy, he has the bunnies, Josh Still.
Yeah, open the floor like that, of course, it's that's 2 points. But what I'm really impressed is the defensive effort from him. He's all the way up by the halfway line, making that pass difficult. Like I said, Sheffield are they turned up the heat early today.
Well, here was the transition three-pointer. Rodney Glasgow Jr. finding Prentice Nixon. Harris trying to do his best, but Manchester, they got to make every effort to get back on defense. But here the turnover. I mean, that's just center putting his hand in the passing lane, having a free lunch. I mean, that's just not acceptable from Manchester's offense.
Yeah, no, they've got to have better awareness. That's from the passer, and that's from William Lee. You feel a guy like that too high up, you need to cut back door, keep the ball moving. It's just a careless pass.
Of course, William Lee had a breakout season in the British Basketball League during the 2021 year when he did play for the Leicester Riders, winning the league that year. Of course, has played professionally in Serbia. Of course, many fans excited when he did return last season. But yeah, you got to ask the question, what if William Lee had never got injured last season? Because that Giants team, they started the season off 4-0. I mean, we are talking about some of the top players in the league went to that club.
Yeah.
And he was one of them.
Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? They could have had a much better start, but it's butts and coconuts,
Well, it is a 13-point deficit. 8:36 to go here in the second quarter. Of course, tomorrow will be the 25th anniversary in which these two teams did play in that epic game, as we saw in the pregame, in which Sheffield's Terrell Myers broke the hearts of every Manchester Giants fan at the Manchester Arena. And as the great Dan Rowlett said, the quote in British Basketball League history, Myers to win the league. Another three goes missing for the Giants.
Some suffocating defense there again from Sheffield. They're really getting up into the offensive players and putting Manchester on the back foot a little bit.
Delpesh looking for a handoff. Trying to go down low to Kipper Nichols. Nichols inside the paint, another rejection. Well, that's a third block for William Lee. 5 blocks already for the Giants here in the first half. Wells trying to penetrate, nobody there to support him. And another turnover.
Yeah, I'd be kind of looking back at my teammates, wondering why no one ran with me and gave me a pass, but there's another one. Wow.
Well, sixth block.
Wow.
Third player to get a block for the Giants. It is a block party, as you
Yeah,
said.
it is officially a block party. Everyone's joined in now. Everyone's turned up.
Wow.
Yeah, from Nick Lewis as well. He's not really known for that, but he sent that into the stands if there were any there.
Giants volleyball in action here this evening. It's Rodney Glasgow Jr. trying to come around the screens. A good defense by William Lee. Well, here we go, Basel fans. I was expecting something a little bit better than that.
He's looking after his needs, you know. Everyone knows he can dunk. He's like, I just get the 2 points.
Well, of course, 2 points better than anything at the end of the day, but he does cut it down to 11-point deficit. 6th turnover of the game for the Sharks.
Yeah, Manchester are going to want to generate more turnovers from them if they want to cut this lead.
Nixon's made 1-3. Well, Nixon.
I think he was anticipating some more contact than there was there.
Walsh tries to bump, goes in, going all the way, and that is what he does best. I don't think there's any player better in the league at getting to the rack than Evan Walsh.
No, that is vintage Evan Walsh there. He puts his head down, he goes to the basket and challenges you to stay in front of him. You know, you have to stand there and take that contact, and he's going to just run right into you full steam. We expect you to stay there. And he's great at finishing as well. It's a difficult skill.
Well, it's a 4-0 run for the Manchester Giants, but this is why I gave him the Manu Ginobili-esque nickname. Evan Ginobili is, look, anytime he gets to the bucket, it's a contact.
That's true. That's very true. I'll give you that. But to call him Manu, I need to see some more steps, you know, skipping through the lane a little bit more. But you're right. He's very good at initiating contact and forcing the referee to make a call.
I mean, he's off balance there. It's not even a floater. It's not even a finger roll. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, it's just a good finish. That's what I said. He goes in, initiates contact, and then adjusts in the rim. You know, he's not thinking of any shot before. He's thinking contact first, and then he's trying to find it.
But no one does it better in the league than Evan Walsh.
Absolutely not. No, I completely agree with you. In fact, you know what? I think maybe JJ, Jordan Johnson, does a really good job.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Amazing job getting to him. He's tougher because he's a lot smaller, so, you know, staying in front of him is already more difficult, but he's really good at initiating that contact and forcing calls from the referee.
Now, what are you expecting here for the Sheffield Sharks? It's a 4-0 run from the Manchester Giants. What would Atiba Lyons be saying on the other end of this timeout?
I think he's definitely saying more of the same. You know, I think their defensive effort is what's, you know, got them this lead now, and, you know, he's going to ask them to keep doing the same thing. Just maybe capitalizing a little bit more in transition off of steals.
Of course, he's been with his team for over a decade, and the young Manchester Giants fans enjoying the occasion here this evening. Great to see a sellout crowd here at the Manchester Arena.
Yeah, they love their basketball in Manchester. Like you said, I was there before, and yeah, always love the energy that the crowd have.
I mean, many Basel fans in the United Kingdom may not know this, but Manchester Giants at one point were acquired by Manchester United. Manchester United used to be
a
team in the British Basketball League.
I've heard this, yeah, I've heard this. It's a shame all Premier League teams don't have affiliations with us here. I feel like it would do a lot of good for the game.
Well, another three in the corner for the Sharks. No good as William Lee gets a rebound. Now, if I'm correct, Glasgow Rangers, Portsmouth Football Club, and Everton Football Club have had teams in the British Basketball League, but you might want to double check that one with the great Dan Routledge.
You'd know better than me.
Well, three goes up again. Giants unable to connect. Still a 9-point ball game. Ramsey back into the game. Well, 24% from the field for the Manchester Giants. I mean, how can they improve that one?
Sorry, say that again.
Of course, shooting 24% from the field. Is it shot selection? I mean, what is it? Is it trying to break down this defense?
Yeah, I think it's a shot selection issue, honestly. I think a few of their shots have been kind of rushed or not in rhythm or even, frankly, not that open. So I think, yeah, if they want to improve their shooting percentage, just try and get better looks.
Well, Boursier not trying to get in front of Green to take a charge, and that's way too easy. It's back to a double-digit lead now for the Sheffield Sharks. Both teams, 4 points from the turnovers. Walls tries another three. This time he gets it, and they may need him to be Evan Obley tonight.
Evan Obley, I like that. Yeah, Evan always does a really good job for them when he comes off the bench to make plays, make exciting plays to, you know, start that run. He's the fire starter, if you want, on the team.
I like what Sheffield's doing. They're putting Green at the high post to attack this 2-3 zone, and there's many ways to break down a zone. What is the typical way that Lloyd Gardner likes to break it down?
Anytime you
that's not one of them.
Yeah, that's not one of them. But you know, to break down a 2-3 zone, you get the ball in the high post. That's danger zone. That's always what you're trying to avoid when you're actually in the zone. So getting the ball to the high post, and then you look corners or look to the other big who's down low.
And it's tough for you guys. Well, I would say tough. It's you've got so many three-point shooters in the team.
Exactly. That's why I don't think a lot of teams like to play zone against us, because we'll quite happily shoot all the open threes that you're offering us. And yeah, if we might start making them, it's tough.
Oh, Evan Nobly went baseline. The no-look dive came from more Mason Boursier, but how do you explain the logic? Josh, no, explain to me what we just saw here. Here's a penetration by Boursier. Gives it a Steve Nash-esque no-look dive.
Yeah, that's an excellent cut by Evan, man. He noticed his guy was falling asleep, didn't pay attention, just slips behind him. Excellent reverse finish there, using the rim for protection.
I believe Tracy McGrady has that one-on-one league, I believe, right?
Yeah, he does.
I think Kevin Walsh might be suited for that league. He gets to the bucket regardless who's defending him.
Yeah, by any means. He does get to the bucket by any means.
He's unable to convert the three-point play, but it is a 6-point deficit. Giants trying to battle back here against the Sheffield Sharks. Sheffield just trying to break down this zone defense. Sending Jalen Pipkins to the baseline run. It's another turnover. Well, the zone is paying off. Anderson a bit of contact. Finds William Lee, gets a step off against Bennett Cook, but he's unable to finish.
Yeah, this is where they have to capitalize. I mean, Sheffield kind of throw the ball away. They don't take advantage of that opportunity in transition, and then don't get that good of a shot either.
Patient passing here from the Sharks. Finding Green inside the paint. A couple of pump fakes, goes in. Oh, again, just simply a high basketball IQ from that man.
Yeah, it's good patience, great patience.
Especially like the way he reads the defense as well. I mean, he pump fakes, gets in and around him. He really does have good vision.
Yeah, he's a good offensive player. He's a good offensive player. He knows how to find angles for him to score the ball.
Well, Anderson with a turnover. Baseline finds Pipkins, goes in, throws it down with two hands. And all of a sudden, Sheffield extending back to a double-digit lead of 10 points. Well, what do you think of the body language right now for the Giants players?
At the moment, I still think they're in it. I don't think we're at that point yet where they've broken. I think there's hope still there, so yeah, I'm not concerned about the body language at the moment. But it will be interesting to see as this game goes on, and maybe, you know, if Sheffield make another big run, what will happen to the Giants players.
Ramsey goes baseline, finds Pipkins, no foul, no travel, but Green comes up with the follow-up. And now it's a 12-point ball game, and Brian Simonian is going to have to talk it over. Basel fans, we will take a short break, and we will be back momentarily. Welcome back, Basel fans. Now a worrying sign here for the Manchester Giants. That looks very painful. Jamal Anderson. Well, it was when I asked a question about body language, but, you know, one thing about this man is he wears his heart on his sleeve. He will give you 110, and that looks painful, Josh.
Yeah, he'll play through a lot, and I've played with Jamal, and he's an outstanding teammate to have. He, you know, gives his 100% every single game. So, yeah, if he's hurt, he's really hurt.
And that looked like he rolled inside as well, and that's even more painful than rolling the other way.
It's very awkward.
Well, Stampley, Boursier, Austin Lawton on the floor currently here for the Manchester Giants, along with Evan Walsh. Another turnover for the Giants.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a better job of limiting those, that's for sure, if they want to cut down this lead.
Well, Green cuts inside the lane. He turns it right over. It's the Giants defense just collapsing on Green when he got the ball inside the paint as Boursier kicks out to Walsh. He's made 1-3.
It's a good find.
Makes another one. And that's what they need.
Absolutely, and that's a routine jump shot for any pro basketball player. You know, you got a rebounder under the basket and you're just shooting on that side of the three. So anytime you can get an inside-out three, you'll take it.
It's interesting because I don't think he takes enough three-pointers.
No, he probably doesn't, but that's also because he's so good at getting the basket. You know?
I don't think he knows just how talented he is at times. But, you know, of course, as I mentioned, they need him to have at least above 20 points tonight if they're going to have any chance of competing here against the Sheffield Sharks, who are currently 3 out of 4 of their last games. Ramsey finding Idle Rock. Well, Cook's made 1 jump shot from 15. Back on this one. 9-point deficit. Giants trying to battle back. Well, that's going to be an offensive foul. Great job by Bennett Cook.
Yeah, that's the other side of the coin with Evan. He does such a good job in transition, getting downhill. It's quite easy to go and pick up charges against him because, you know, he's going full speed. He's not in control all the time. So, yeah, good recognition there by the defense.
Well, Basel fans, we're just getting word, of course, that Jamal Anderson possibly will be trying to re-enter the game. It looks like he is going to try to come back in, but how effectively he'll be because, you know, Josh, I got to say that role did not look good.
No, it didn't look good, but if I know Jamal, he'll still find a way to be effective. And he's even good just out there as a voice. You know, I'm sure he's the anchor of their defense, so, you know, it's important to the Giants to have their captain out there.
They took a gamble on Darrell Ramsey, giving him a wide-open three-pointer. We'll see if he finds Lewis. Pump fakes. Goes for step back 3, and again, just off the mark. Oh, Cook did everything right except Tibby. Now, does Bennett Cook get the assist?
Yeah, I think he should. I think he should.
Stapley coming up with the well, I wouldn't say offensive rebound, but, you know, that's what you got to do at this point. Scramble, fight, find a way to stay in the game.
Right, exactly. Like, you know, you make your own luck. If he's not active on the boards, Cook doesn't tip it to him.
Ramsey had the right idea. Green didn't see it coming. Giants trailing by 7 points. They're on a 5-0 run at the moment. Lewis finding Boursier. Got it by Idle Rock. Nowhere to go here. Time winding down the shot clock. Walsh. He's going to go for his third 3. This one's up. Trying to go off the backboard, but they're going to call an illegal screen against Austin Lawton.
Yeah, it's tough. I think that's a little bit of a heat check shot from Evan. You know, he's made his last 2, so I don't blame him for shooting that one.
Let's have a look at the ball screen here. Well,
I don't really like that call, to be honest. I think the screen was over. So, yeah.
Both players are holding each other.
Exactly.
Well, timeout's going to be called. As we mentioned, 7-point lead here for the Sheffield Sharks. 120 here in the first half. Well, it's tough here because, you know, they're both locked up. They're both trying to fight for position. Was the contact enough that Bennett Cook did get pushed over?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think, you know, the screen's over. They're locked up. They're trying to get out of the way. I don't think there's any need for a whistle there.
Well, Team Alliance players, they do have the upper hand at the moment. There is Marko Bakovic, the assistant coach, former player with the Sheffield Sharks.
Yeah, used to play a junior national team with Marko for a long time, from like under 15s all the way up to under 20s. So, yeah.
Now, you played junior national team as well, didn't you?
Yeah, all the way through. Yeah.
Who else played junior national team?
Me, you know. So I did play with RJ. My year would have been Kwasi Yaboa. Jabril played with. Amin.
There was a point guard called Miles as well, wasn't
Yeah, Miles Lawrence Smart. Yeah.
A hell of a play. Now, who else do you think in this building played junior national team?
Building. Evan did.
Yep.
Jamal did. That's it.
Jamal Anderson started with the England under-18s. That was back in the, I want to say, summer 2007 when he played for Tim Lewis. Teammates of one, Miles Hessen as well, is currently playing professionally in the Japanese B-League. Just over a minute to go here in the second quarter, excuse me. It's Ramsey being defended here. Splits the defense, goes into the flow. That's a tough play by Darrell Ramsey.
Yeah, excellent touch there, man. That's a difficult shot for anyone watching at home. He makes that look easy, but that takes an incredible amount of touch.
We'll talk about junior national teams. He was actually on the USA team that won the FIBA It's the Under-17 World Championship where he's teammates with Jason Tatum. It's Lewis again trying to go for a three, and a foul is going to be called now. Who have they called this one on?
Yeah, I didn't quite see that.
Well, 40 seconds left here in the second quarter. I think this foul is going to be against, I want to say, Bennett Cook. Well,
Not sure I agree with that one either. But
it's on green.
Okay, but there's a lot of bodies there either way, so you know you're making split decision calls.
Well, Anderson steps out of bounds, another turnover. So Sharks will get this one back, leading by 9 points at the moment. You just wonder if the impact from rolling his ankle was affecting him a little. I mean, he looks okay for the time being.
Yeah, like I said, you know, Jamel does a lot more than score the basketball. He helps winning in a number of ways, so I'm sure he'll find a way to be effective.
Giants going back to zone defense. Actually going to a matchup man-to-man, excuse me. Nichols here inside the paint, kicks out to RJ Adderrock. Front nine unable to get the three-pointer, so Giants can't get the final shot here of the first half.
I was about to say, I hope to see them use all the clock.
One trying to post up, gets caught a double team, and a foul is going to be called. That's not a bad foul because it won't necessarily send him to the free throw line.
No, exactly. You've got them, so you may as well use them.
The Sharks don't want to commit a foul now. They do not want to send Manchester to the charity stripe, leading by 9 points. Lewis got it by Ramsey. He's got to go quick here. Lewis pulls up three, and he's unable to connect. Well, Basel fans, end of the first half. It is indeed the visitors, the Sheffield Sharks, who lead this one by 9 points. It is halftime. We'll take a break, and we will be back momentarily. Welcome back, Basel fans. We're live here at the Manchester Arena for this game between the Giants and the Sheffield Sharks, where indeed the visitors have the lead at the moment. While I'm currently here with Josh Steele, the Surrey Scourgers. Josh, what have we seen so far here in the first half?
Well, we've seen Sheffield taking control of this game. They've come in. They're not messing around. Like I said, they're not usually a team that likes to get going on the defensive end, but they've been aggressive and put Manchester on the back foot. And I think Manchester in turn now they're struggling from the field.
Well, we're going to break this game down now as we take a look at the game statistics at the moment. Now, both teams having a bit of a tough night from the perimeter, but what have we seen from these statistics?
Yeah, it was like I just mentioned, Manchester's struggling from the field, and for me, I think it comes down to a little bit of shot selection. I don't think they're generating enough good shots, and that's going to leak into your makes and misses.
Of course, there you see the assist count, both under 10, and as you mentioned, under 6 field goals inside the rainbow for the Giants. That has been tough. Both teams combined total 19 turnovers, but I think now we need to go back and look at the best moments from the first half as we give you the tale of the half here between these two teams. Well, right from the get-go, these two teams went right at it, but that's just way too easy for Nick Stampley inside the paint.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the start of the game as well, but they turned it up from then, and Manchester doing a good job protecting the paint there as we saw.
Oh, we've got to talk about that block party. 3 players on the stat sheet for blocks.
Yeah, I know.
But who's got more blocks, Stampley or William Lee?
I think William Lee, unfortunately, but I think that it's a setup. He's lost a block to the statistician, so in my head, Stampley.
That's going to be a heavy debate later on, but Green inside the paint. What I like about him is vision. He reads his defenders, but here you can see Jamal Anderson already getting things going for the perimeter. But defense there, nobody contesting Jordan Rutino.
Yeah, non-existent there on those plays, and that's where Manchester's got to tighten up as well. So they've got work to do on both ends.
On Green, you can see they're shifting, shaking, getting right to the bucket. Tough play, of course, and there you can see as well by Pipkins. But here's a transition play. Rodney Glasgow Jr. coming back this season midway through to injury. I mean, he has come back with a bang.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's probably enjoying this fast tempo style of play that Sheffield are now enjoying.
Well, there was the turnover. Now, we talked about this. This made it a 13-point ball game. Delpesh getting his hands in the passing lane, but even right there, how many blocks are there in total?
Another block, I think, what is it, 6?
6 or something?
Yeah, 6.
Oh, come on, William Lee. Throw it down, big man. Get the crowd hyped.
It's a long game. He's got a lot of minutes to play. He's just looking after his bones.
Well, here was the no-look time. Boursier finding Evan Walsh, and here was the twist of the ankle. Right ankle. That looked very painful, but what a warrior for still playing. You mentioned this with Jamal Anderson. He just plays through everything, and that is why he is a true leader. Well, Basel fans, that is the end of the first half here between the Manchester Giants and the Sheffield Sharks. Some great games from yesterday that we're going to leave you with. As, of course, Bristol going to Cheshire, picking up a big victory. But before that, it's the old historical Classico, Newcastle Eagles versus the Leicester Riders.
Well, there's an early inside look. Shelton getting it done. Green, don't jump.
Fantastic. He knew the defense was coming.
Jordan Johnson diving on the ball, getting a better rate. Taj Green, cleared for takeoff, throwing it down on the rim. Teddy Allen going all the way to the right hand for 2. Producer was in my saying no score for Teddy yet, and there you go. As Teddy Allen fires it up from way downtown, and that's nothing but net. Jordan Johnson, he's going to find room to attack the bucket, hand it off to Delpesh, who throws it in for 2. Myron Thomas all the way to the bucket.
A great offensive possession. There was so much movement. That was difficult to guard.
Thomas, the pump fake, he's going all the way again, and oh my goodness! Stop in the name of the law. Malcolm Delpesh denies Myron Thomas. Larry Austin Jr. on the other end.
Whoa, take a breath to hear, because that was an incredible block.
Oh, TJ Lal, he's getting hot. Let's see if Newcastle can close the gap even more. Taj Green slips away, and the bucket is good nonetheless. Johnson knocks down the triple, and Newcastle have the lead. Oh, Idowu gets it back. Finger roll. Nice give and go.
Yeah, pretty play between those two.
McKenzie throwing it up to Thomas. Alley-oop play all the way. There's a full steal and a big block from TJ Law. This game's got it all. McKenzie pushing forward. Off to the races. Idowu laying it in for 2 in transition. Here is Jordan Johnson. Green pulling up for another triple, and that's 4 for 4. Into the hands of Myron Thomas, he's pushing forward. Jordan Johnson sweeps across, steals it away, all alone. Larry Austin Jr. for the 2. He's blocked away, kicks it out. Connor Washington for 3, and no good. Rebound for Ricky McGill, and Newcastle Eagles take the victory over the Leicester Riders after a phenomenal second half performance. What a wonderful finish to this game. Spilling possession and out in transition. Lucas making sure the 2 points are secured.
Good job, Bristol.
Brad Green handed it off, and the jam. Rideau, though, he's going to take the chance.
So good.
Right. Spinning again to the right hand. He loves that spin move. Finding the next pass, the ball moves well for Bristol here. Jacob, big time triple for the Bristol Flyers. That's great ball movement. High arcing shot, pushing the ball forward here. EJ Stevens, what a wonderful pass. A steal is for Jack Hudson, who lays it in for 2. Samuels going strong, and 1, Corey Samuels.
This isn't very Cheshire-like.
Johnson on the money, 22 points. Still a long way to go. Stolen away, though. You chip away, you keep on chipping, and Aaron Rye throws down a gem. Lucas, he spilt it here, out and running again, but Tevin Ollison almost outruns him. Cam Holden rises up. Ollison calling for the head tap, which usually means a ball screen's coming. But Smith gets out the way, and Rye. Another triple for Aaron Rye. Too little too late though, really. Tevin Ollison wants to get it over. Cheshire want to still play defense. That goes out of bounds. Oh, and a little pushing action here, and sportsmanlike foul called.
When you've been bussing somebody up for 32 points, I just feel like you just settle down, Phoenix. Just be quiet. You got your tails handed to you at home.
And then all smiles now all of a sudden.
There you go.
Skylar White goes to the bench, and the Cheshire Phoenix fans will clap up Skylar White. There you have it, the Bristol Flyers finally get another win on the board and have qualified for the playoffs. Amazing. They climb into 7th position over the Surrey Scorchers, and there's a relieved Andreas Kapoulis.
Basketball League between the Manchester Giants and the Sheffield Sharks. Well, of course, what a game it's been so far now. You know, here have been some of the key fixtures this weekend. As you can see, the Newcastle Eagles losing against the Caledonia Gladiators. Plymouth City Patriots losing against the Cheshire Phoenix. The Sharks this weekend winning against the Leicester Riders. While Surrey Scorchers, of course, losing against the Caledonia Gladiators, and Bristol Flyers also losing in the Southwest Derby. While yesterday, Leicester Riders, they were up by 9 points and losing to the Eagles, and the Phoenix losing at home to the Bristol Flyers. If you noticed something, all the away teams have won this weekend, Josh Still.
Yeah, that's big. I think we might see a whitewash today. I think Sheffield are in a good position to win tonight.
Well, of course, you know, one thing that would have implications, if the Manchester Giants lose tonight, their playoff hopes are done.
Yeah, so this game is really important for them. Their postseason's on the line. This is a very big game.
Well, here is the man who could probably hope to help this team progress tonight to maybe pick up that ever so big victory. I mean, yeah, we talked about this guy knows how to get to the bucket, makes that contact, and, you know, it's not a floater, it's not a finger robbery. What is it?
It's just, you know, it's a good finish. That's all I can say. If it goes in, it's a good finish. You know, you call it what you want. But, yeah, he's going to have a lot more responsibility now, seeing that Anderson's picked up a bit of a niggle. Making a jump shot here. He's not known as a prolific shooter, but, you know, knocking those down tonight, it's going to open his game up a little bit.
10 points tonight for Evan Walsh. But as we said, 2 rebounds and 2 assists. He needs to have a very big second half of this team if they have any hope of saving their playoff chance. Remember, if the Giants lose this evening, Bristol Flyers, that will confirm their playoff spot. Well, hello and welcome back to the second half. This is the Manchester Giants taking on the Sheffield Sharks. Currently 9-point lead into the visitors. Cook going for a handoff, finding Ramsey. William Lee trying to match up defensively against Bennett Cook. Well, Cook playing a bit of bully basketball. Yeah, just moved him.
Absolutely different weight class there. I was hoping he found the skip to RJ there on the perimeter, but yeah, we'll take those 2 points every time.
Well, Bennett Cook does have an offensive game to him. I mean, quite a heavy backcourt defending team, but Giants unable to get an offensive rebound. Ramsey coming up with it. 11-point lead to the Sharks. So
yeah.
That should... Oh, go on, sorry.
I was going to say, I just like that from Ramsey, how he decided to slow it down. He maybe had a lead pass there to Ratino on the break, but, you know, they're up now. They're in control of the game, so they're going to want to eat up the clock and, you know, make sure they get a lot of good shots.
That's a good point you make, of course. I mean, you had the momentum, you had the game in your hand. They've led by as many as 13 points. I mean, Giants, is it fair to say they're a confidence team? If they get a couple of things going for them right on offense, they could, you know, revitalize themselves?
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. I mean, they've been that way all year, and even more so today, I'm sure. You know, they're definitely in the balance of, you know, clocking out and their postseason being on the line. So, tough shot there, man, unbelievable shot.
You might need to explain to me the physics of how he made that one.
Wow.
That was tough with the capital T.
Falling back, defense dripped all over him. Like, yeah, that's a tough finish. But as I was saying, you know, Giants are in a precarious position right now, so all it could take is one good run from Sheffield, and, you know, maybe their spirits are broken, so it's going to be important for them to kind of continue.
You know that's a tough shot because he didn't use his usual follow-through for that one. He had to improvise a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Got to adjust. That's a sign of a good player.
Well, a foul has been called. I believe it was against Green. 13-point lead. It's the biggest lead of the night so far for the Sharks. Well, Lee gave up a wide-open 3. Anderson trying to isolate, puts in a little teardrop, and that's a good play by Jamel Anderson.
Yeah, he's looking fine out there. Doesn't look a step slow at all.
Well, Sharks currently have Ramsey, Otto-Rock, Green, Ratino, and Bennett Cook on the floor. Cook in the paint, looking to take on William Lee. Oh, good hands by the big man. I mean, that's almost like a Statue of Liberty. How high he elevates, but also how high he holds it.
Yeah, no,
nobody can block that.
Absolutely. It's difficult to get a challenge on him. So when he's got 2 feet in the paint, you know, it's more likely going to be 2 points.
Well, big 3 by Stampley. The assist coming from Nicholas Lewis. And as we mentioned, the confidence this team just needs to build off. 5th 3-pointer of the night here for the Giants.
Yeah, and where do you get confidence? At least for me, that's on the defensive end. So I want to see them step up a little bit, be a bit more disruptive, and, you know, get some easy ones.
Well, nice pump fake, but the pick and roll was beautifully executed.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to cook quite a lot at the moment, man.
And they've identified the mismatch that he has inside the paint at the moment. Stapley pump fakes, bit of contact, gonna get the, oh no, he doesn't.
Got to finish those. Got to finish those. You know, he's going to be kicking himself. But, yeah, I don't know where Sheffield were on defense there. No idea.
Well, that basketball just defying the laws of gravity, refusing to go inside the buckets. Stapley will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. That's tough, isn't it? I don't think.
Oh, it's so tough. He was almost too open. He definitely heard the whistle and stopped playing almost, you know. Just went on autopilot, definitely.
Stapley missing the free throws, a 72% free throw shooter this season, averaging 8.6 points per game. It's interesting that, you know, he is quite a volume three-point shooter for a man in his position.
I think you get a lot of opportunities to shoot the 3 at the 4 spot, and that's where he plays. You know, you get the chance to pick and pop. You're trailing in transition. I think, you know, you play the 4, you get a lot of good looks at the basket from 3.
Well, the Sharks have only taken 4 free throws this evening, but 100%. Ramsey goes in with a floater, comes up with a loose ball, can't get it.
He's forcing some tough passes, some tough shots there. He's going to make life a little easier for himself.
Line of rock pump fakes, finds Ramsey, penetrates. Cook's been on fire so far. This guy at the moment
can't slow him down right now.
He's not missing.
No.
He's cooking it.
No pun intended.
Giants down by 14. Biggest lead here for the Sharks. Lewis's 3 is off the mark. But Josh, I got to ask you, where is the potential comeback going to come from? You mentioned the defense.
That's where it comes from. It always starts on defense. They're the momentum plays. They're the ones that, you know, you get some easy ones in transition off of steals. The basket starts to feel a little bigger. You know, that's when they're going to have to step it up on defense.
Well, he is going to the free throw line, so I'm not quite sure a workout right now is going to do any favors. But, yeah, one thing I have to criticize Manchester, and we've seen this all game long, it just seems like it's way too easy to throw the ball to the double block.
Yeah, there's no resistance. I mean, I'm not sure what their scheme is defensively. Maybe they allow it to the post like, you know, we do. We don't necessarily front or anything like that, but there's help coming from other places. I don't know if that's their game plan, but yeah, you'd like to see a bit more of a challenge on the entry.
Because like his team, there's 3 solid players you can put the ball in the post to. Bennett Cook, Green, and of course, the likes of Kipper Nichols.
Yeah.
And once you give the ball to them in the post, they're all capable of isolating, which puts the defense under a lot of pressure. Then when you decide to collapse double team, you've got a plethora of 3-point shooters.
Yeah, you got to do your work before they catch the ball, that's for sure. At least what I try and do, I get switched on to guys that like to post up quite often. So at least what I like to do is I don't let them catch them where they would practice shots from. So he's not catching it on the block where he's taking 1,000 turnaround hooks. I've got to push him off and put him in no man's land.
We'll see if fires the threat again. Everything refusing to go inside here for the Giants. Fighting for the postseason tonight. They must win here to keep their playoff hopes alive. Good defense by Boyson. That's what we're talking about. Make those post entries a little bit tougher.
That's exactly it. Exactly it. And these are the kind of plays that, you know, they keep you in the game. You're not worrying about the score. You're just playing hard and chipping away 1 possession at a time.
I'd say one player I used to love watching in this league, who used to just play solid post, or 2 of them actually. Kieran Achara, or 3 down, yourself, and Ant Rowe. The way they used to defend post entry, and more so when he played for the Riders, of course. But you know, those were guys that used to read where the ball was, you know, deny from one angle, quickly get into help side bump. You don't see that often these days because, you know, you made this point. The power forward comes out to the perimeter. You got centers also picking and popping coming, but post defense is so crucial.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, for the reasons that the offense wants to get it there is exactly why you need to be able to defend it there. The ball's close to the basket. It's a dangerous position.
Another turnover for the Giants. Again, can the Sheffield Sharks increase the lead? Currently 15 points. Idle Rock going baseline, bumping. Trying to find Cook. Green comes up with a loose ball. May have took one extra step, and now William Lee. Now, who's going to run here with the Giants? Again, it's only Lewis ahead, and he has to go for a 3.
It's a bit of a modern basketball shot there.
But I think that transition kind of symbolizes how this third quarter's gone for Manchester. Nobody was running there with William Lee and Nicholas Lewis.
Yeah, no, you worry there if, like we said before, there's a fine line for them between clocking out and trying to push this game, to, you know, to a 4th quarter. And yeah, those are the kind of plays that maybe show where their head's at a little bit.
Of course, we know Jamel Hansen did roll his ankle, so he has got to play by any means that he can, of course. But you know, if you're backcourt, you've got to be running.
Yeah, no doubt. You clean up the rebound and giving guys passes. It was getting somebody else open. things that don't often show up on the stat sheet that are the most important.
Well, one player, of course, who has been killing it here for the Sheffield Sharks in the third quarter, Bennett Cook. Well, textbook post play, inside pivot, bit of contact. That's what you like to see. I mean, I don't know who you compare him to, of course. It's a bit of Kieran Achara and, of course, Amro together.
I never got to see them play. I mean, I got to see Achara at the end of his career, but I never got to see Am play. But I think Cook's doing his own thing right now. He is Bennett Cook. You know, he's making the most of those opportunities. Teammates are finding him, and yeah, he's executing.
Of course, good post players, they play block to block. And of course, they might be setting between 2, 3, 4 ball screens per offense, that is. This guy, you know, he plays within himself. He doesn't try to do too much. We have seen him, you know, trying to go for mid-range shots. Done 12 points so far this evening, but I'm a big fan of Bennett Cook. I love his post IQ.
No, same. I like him a lot. He does play at his own speed. That's kind of, I think, playing. Like, yeah, he's good at when he's in, you know, he's playing his own tempo, but what's it like when you rush him? And he's very good at that. He doesn't, he's not erratic, and yeah, he's a big body as well. Big body as well. 2 feet in the paint. It's too late.
On the course of the moment, Sheffield leading by 15 points. Tomorrow will be the 25th anniversary, in which we've already mentioned these two teams met not too far away from here at the Manchester Arena. Of course, a game that was coached by 2 current NBA coaches, Chris Finch, currently with the Timberwolves, the former Sharks coach, and Nick Nurse, the current 76ers coach, who did coach the Giants. Of course, that game, well, I'm not going to give it away. If you've only just tuned in, go to YouTube and type in Manchester Giants versus Sheffield Sharks 1999. You will not regret it. One of the most, if not the most iconic moments in the history of British basketball. Of course, our colleague Dan Routledge, the infamous words, well, I'm not going to say that might give it away, but I don't again. That's tough.
Big shot there. I was a little worried about the pump fake there, but I guess he needed to get himself balanced and to knock that down.
And you like that one. Barking Abbey represented.
Exactly. I love it. I love all things BA, so I love seeing our guys win.
17-point ball game. Jamal Anderson's got to make this 3. It's up. Beautifully tucked away. Can that inspire the Manchester Giants, who need to win this game to keep their playoff hopes alive?
That's huge. To see what they do now on this defensive possession, that's going to, you know, let us know where they're at.
Well, Josh Steele, you made a good point. Confidence has got to come from defense. And Manchester, they need to change things, and they need to change it quick.
Yeah, they're not in a position where they can trade baskets. Not at all. They need to, you know, put their mark on the game, and their mark is going to be on that defensive end.
You can just see Jamal Anderson maybe favoring that ankle, but giving everything he has at the moment. Lewis getting a handoff with Lawton. Now we're under 10 on the shot clock. He's going to pull up uncontested from the mid-range. Now it's a 5-0 run for Manchester.
Yeah, that's on the scout. That's the shot he loves. And so Sheffield needs to do a better job of taking that away, and good job Manchester for getting the ball to the right guy.
Well, Basel fans will take a short break, and we'll be back momentarily. Well, Brian Simoni has got to be thinking it's now or never for the Manchester Giants. A 5-0 run. Well, can they do it, Josh Steele? 38 points so far, and we almost near the fourth quarter.
Well, in today's basketball, there's something, there's so much time left on the clock. It's just going to take one run and the momentum could change. So it's definitely possible. It's whether Manchester want to dig deep and, find the answers.
Well, mid-range again goes missing for the Sharks. Giants just throw it away, and it's thrown, and you can see there was reaction from Brian Simonian. You build him a bit of momentum, and a turnover like that. I mean,
they're the plays that kind of take the wind out of your sails a little bit. They're the ones you want to avoid. They got to limit those.
Well, they have to play better, that's for sure. Just taking a bit of responsibility here at the moment. Can the Sharks capitalize? Kevin Nichols pulls up uncontested. He misses. That's 3 consecutive misses for the Sharks. So Lee Anderson, Boursier, Austin Lawton, and Evan Walsh back in the game now for the Giants. Walsh trying to go down the middle. Oh, pump fakes, what a play. Evan Nobly, I quote.
Yeah, there you go. That shows a little bit more control. I think maybe he heard you call him Evan Nobly, and went and studied some moves there in the locker rooms. That was an excellent pump fake there. Nice
this man just set the defense flying, by the way.
He did. Pump faked him out of his shoes.
Wow. Now the Giants are going to push. Finding Walsh. 10-point deficit. They're on a 7-0 run. Anderson got it by Kipper Nichols. Bumps, no foul called, and it's going to be another turnover.
Yeah, I expect a little bit better from Mel there. I feel like he was anticipating a foul.
Well, right here again. Kipper Nichols, get on your next airline back to Yorkshire. Send him flying.
Yeah, that's a brilliant fake.
Well, 2:30 to go. Sharks still leading by 10 points. 12th turnover of the game for the Giants. Pipkins going pick and roll here with Del Pesh. Oh, Anderson's hit the ground, and that's a worrying sign for Manchester.
Yeah, that didn't look good at all.
Now, was that a collision of the knees? I don't think it's his ankle. Was that knee to knee?
Might have been the same angle,
Might have to see a replay. I mean, if you want to make a comeback, there is the one play you just cannot afford to lose. I mean, you mentioned to it, he is more than just an offensive threat. He's a great defensive player, but also he is a leader for this team, and he looks like he's in a world of pain.
Yeah, the Giants would definitely notice his presence not being there out there on the floor. Like I said, in more ways than just him scoring. So yeah, this is definitely a big blow to them. Big blow to their confidence, and or it could inspire them even more. I've been in situations where teammates of mine have gone down, and we've rallied even harder because you want to win for the guy who can't be out there with us right now. So we'll see.
Well, Basel fans, I don't think we are going to show the replay, of course, but stood on defender's foot and rolled his ankle, and again, we can only hope. And of course, send our wishes to him to make sure he's going to be okay. But ankle rolls, they are horrible. They are very tough to recover from. Walsh trying to throw it down to Stampley. Another turnover. So you're right, of course. It was indeed the same ankle. I was wrong. It wasn't knee-to-knee collision.
Yeah, he looks a little bit too much in pain there for his knee-to-knee.
And now it's a 5-0 run for the Sharks. They restore a 15-point lead. Nixon.
Yeah, I'm sure they smell blood right now. So see them picking up full court. They're trying to finish the game now, kill the spirits of this Giants team.
Well, if there was ever a time they have to come together, this would be the time. Walsh going baseline, got it heavily by Nixon. Lee left wide open. Need this 3, but it's unable to go down. As Rodney Glasgow Jr. pulls up, there was a bit of the follow-up. Well, Manchester Giants had their last donut, but nobody called box out when Del Pesh came in for the cleanup.
No, Giants got to make sure they get a body on him. That's one thing he does, and that's chase down boards.
Well, quick three-pointer come from William Lee. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Giants still trailing by 14 points. This sellout home crowd trying to get in the game, but a foul is going to be called against Austin Lawton, a blocking foul. Well, Del Pesh cleared the runway on that previous cleanup.
Man's got sky high to reach that rebound.
It's going to be 2 free throws coming up here for Jalen Pipkins. Well, Pipkins course, to 3 different universities actually: Cal State, Northridge, Loyola, and of course Fort Wayne. Now, interesting, also before coming to the British Basketball League, like Nick Stapley, played 1 year in Finland. This makes both free throws. Well, makes the second one, excuse me. So, potential 2 for 1 here for Manchester. They do go quickly, but they're going to have to try and go quick.
Yeah, they got to go quicker than this. Not sure they're looking for it.
Ball's trying to go with that Eurostep. Can't get it. Well, again, I'm going to ask you the question. You just need to explain to me. Well, no, they're going to call an offensive foul.
Yeah, he looked a little out of control there, to be honest.
I'm just amazed he made the shot,
Yeah,
though.
same.
I mean, this guy would be the MVP of a game of horse against anybody in the world.
He needs defense, otherwise it's not as impressive.
You might be right. Now, what was the foul? Is it the elbow? Was it the...
To be honest, I'm not really sure. I would have not called it. I don't think the defender had legal position, and yeah, I don't think he had control of his body, so I wouldn't have called it.
Oh, Walsh just getting a little bit... Now, the foul is called against Kipper Nichols. Now, I didn't quite see what happened. It did Kipper Nichols... Was it a collision or was it a...
Either way, I think Walsh has to do a better job with controlling his emotions. He's letting the last play affect this play. And yeah, they're not in a position where they, want to be flirting with technical fouls or him getting ejected. That's the last thing they need. But yeah, that's physical.
Like Kipper Nichols is obviously trying to bump it, but
Yeah, it's a basketball play. It's
at the same time, you could look at it as it's a bit of a cheap shot as well. But yeah, I would say I'd wait too much. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here.
Absolutely, I get it. Absolutely.
And I think he's
And on the receiving end, you're obviously going to feel, you take a hard hit, you're obviously going to feel like it's a little bit personal. But I think at the end of the day here, like no one's trying to hurt anybody here. Exactly. Everyone's just trying to win.
I don't think Kipper Nichols is that kind of player as well. I just think he's trying to bump him. They've called the foul. Same time, I completely understand why Evan Walsh. He didn't see it coming, and you know what that's like as well. You've had those before.
Exactly. Yeah. It's normal to get hit. You get mad, but it's another thing that great players do. Other things don't affect them. Like he's got a game to go and win now, so like I said, don't let past plays leak into future plays.
Well, Evan Walsh, I believe, the referee's still trying to figure out what to make of this. They going to potentially upgrade here? Is it going to be a technical against Evans' response? Or is it going to be an upgrade to an I don't know. I mean, this is...
Yeah, I think
this will be interesting.
I think that's going to be more likely.
Well, Basel fans, just an update on Jamel Anderson, because we do believe he may have left the arena because the ankle injury sustained might be a bit of a problem. So our thoughts go with Jamel Anderson. Of course, best wishes and hope to a quick recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not... Despite his injury this year, I've not known Jamel as a player to get injured so often. So, yeah, it's not good to see.
It's interesting because you see the way that Jamel Anderson keeps playing season after season. He's in great shape. He takes care of himself very well. I'm just always thinking 30 years from now, whatever team he's playing on, they'll have to find a new core of players to surround him.
Yeah, 30 years from now. That's true.
I think a technical has been called here because Rodney Glasgow Jr. will be the free throw line. See, I'm just trying to, again, I'm trying to play devil's advocate. I've been commentating international basketball for 8 years. And those calls are always 50-50. Sometimes you do see them. I'm talking about Kipper Nichols' bump, of course.
Right.
I think we saw something similar, actually. Remember what game? I think it was in the Newcastle Eagles game, I think last, where an unsportsmanlike foul was called in similar circumstances. So, listen, Evan Walsh has been given a... Well, 2 free throws are coming up here. Well, Brian Simonian, I believe, has been given a double technical and he's left the game. So I think that's why we've had the 2 free throws, yeah.
Wow.
Possession has gone back, I believe, to the Sheffield Sharks. Well, it's becoming a bit of a calamity here at the moment here for Manchester.
Yeah, a lot of things not going their way at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see the response and mental resolve of the players here.
9 seconds difference between game and shot clock now for the Sheffield Sharks. Nixon pulls off in the mid-range. Front iron can't get it. Another offensive rebound. They're unable to get the putback. Now, can the Giants get some final bucket here before the fourth quarter? Goes out of bounds, but it's going to remain Giants ball on the sideline. 4.9 left, Josh. Now, what do you go for here?
Best look, the absolute best look you can. 2 or 3, they need anything. They just need the ball to go in the basket right now to, you know, give them some good spirits going into the fourth. They'll take that.
He went for the fadeaway, couldn't get it. While Basel fans end of the third quarter, and indeed it is a 17-point lead to the visitors, the Sheffield Sharks. Giants fighting for their postseason. We'll take a break and we'll be back momentarily. Welcome back, Basel fans. The Manchester Giants have hit the green iceberg this evening. Brian Simonian, they've ejected from the game. They've also lost, Jamal Anderson. There you can see Brian Simonian walking out.
Yeah.
Well, it's become a calamity, hasn't it?
Yeah, Manchester's in a tough position right now. Down a head coach, down a captain. Yeah, lots going wrong for them right now. It would be quite easy for them to just, you know, throw the towel in and, yeah, call it game. But we'll see what kind of energy they come out with here in the fourth.
Final 10 minutes. Manchester, again, if they lose tonight, any hope of postseason participation, I'd call it, will be there as the alley-oop is thrown up, and again, Del Pesh.
Just loving it up there on the ring tonight.
Giants assistant coach Paul Campbell taking over duties here this evening. Of course, Paul Campbell's been with the Giants program for quite so many years, of course. Lewis getting a handoff. Finds William Lee. He's got to make this one.
It's good find.
Actually keeps him in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Coming out the gates early, getting that first shot, you know, hope's still alive. I'd like to credit Callum on that cut there as well. They got William Lee open.
Well, prior to the season, well, when you played for the Giants, that was the first time they made the playoffs since 2013-14. Jones was playing for that team, and it was his father who was the coach for the Giants.
Yeah,
been with this franchise for almost forever.
Forever. You can't say Manchester basketball without saying Callum Jones or the Joneses in that fact.
We mentioned his father, Jeff Jones. We mentioned Manchester United. He played for that Manchester United basketball team, but the moment the foul has been committed, that's a frustrating one to give away, because now you're sending Pipkins to the free throw line for 3 free shots.
Yeah, and that's going to get his rhythm going, and you're fouling a just about above average three-point shooter that far away from the three-point line. That little second time on the shot clock is a bit of a bailout. And now getting a good scorer, you know, free shots at the free throw line.
Well, Pipkins has definitely been one of the most exciting players to join the British Basketball League this season. Probably not a guy you want to foul from the three-point line, that's for sure.
Exactly. You just want to give a strong contest, especially from that deep. You live with that.
See, continuity is key, and I just wonder if you keep this Sheffield Sharks team together for another season, maybe 2 seasons, what's stopping them from being as good as the Cheshire Phoenix, Caledonia Gladiators, or maybe the London Lions?
I don't know, you say that, but they do have a lot of familiar pieces, though. They do have a core, so I don't know.
Pipkins has been there 4 seasons, Ramsey now second seed, but look at the new players coming. I mean, it's a talented team.
Yeah, there is, it is. You're right. If they can keep more of this team together, yeah, there's potential. But I think that goes to say with everybody, right?
Yeah, for sure.
More teams stay together, yeah, they're going to get better, no doubt.
Well, Austin Lawn, that's a nice post where he's unable to finish. I mean, I could argue the point that if Surrey Scorchers didn't get any injuries, they could probably win the league.
Exactly, but what I say
that's
before...
That's my wishful thinking, of course.
Exactly, F spots and coconuts, man.
It's been a great turnaround. Another turnover here for Sheffield, but they do lead this one by 19 points. Jones trying to push this one quickly. Stampley guarded heavily. Tries to penetrate using the brute strength to get a good move.
By any means, he's getting to the basket. Go find someone, man.
That's good defense by the Sharks. They collapsed, they triple teamed.
Yeah, good job not giving up a 2 there.
See, the thing with Nicholas Lewis, he's a fantastic player, but that's just too easy letting Nixon get inside the middle.
Yeah, for sure, but that's not what he's paid to do. He's not there on the floor to play defense. Yeah, you expect more out of your players on the defensive end, but he expends so much of his energy on offense and is so focused on offense, it's not really where his head's at as a player. But yeah, you want at least other guys on the team to be able to rotate and pick up the slack a little bit for him.
And he's a terrific offensive player. He's a great offensive player.
Yeah, we're not talking
about that.
But
you're down by 19. You got 8 minutes and 2 seconds. You're saving your postseason right now.
Absolutely. You would expect better. But I don't expect better just only because I know that's not the kind of player he is. He doesn't have a defensively focused sort of mind.
Well, Nixon making it a 20-point lead now. Now extending to 21. It's very tough for these Manchester Giants fans. A great atmosphere here this evening. A sellout crowd of nearly 1,800 people in the building. At the moment, they're seeing their Yorkshire rivals currently dominating by 21 points. Lewis the time and space. 3-pointers up. Front iron can't get it. Leaving the offensive rebound. Stampley made 1-3. Getting the shooter's roll.
Those rooms are very friendly. I love shooting down there at Manchester.
Well, nice cross. Oh my goodness!
Living on the ring tonight, man.
Are you kidding me? Did this man just cross it over? I mean, he usually follows up, catches lobs. I have never seen Del Pesh cross over into a slam like that.
Me either. And I want to give him a lot of credit for that move because it was nice, but I can't help but think, yeah, Manchester kind of helped him with that one.
Oh, back-to-back threes from Nick Stampley. But Del Pesh might be the only time in his career he's going to go for a crossover like that and a dunk.
He needs to clip that. That's gone on the highlight reel this summer. Stretch 4.
Oh, he's going again. Got it by Lawton. There's a pump fake. Glasgow Jr., he fires a 3, unable to connect. Throw it right away, and Josh Steele, that's a confidence killer right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Those momentum plays that we said before, you know, they kill the energy and make the comeback seem that much more difficult.
What, how do you explain? I mean, killer crossover, thunder slam.
Did not know he had that in his bag.
Take a bow. Give Del Pesh some credit. That's got to be top play of the week.
Absolutely. I'd give it to him.
Now, if somebody paid you $100,000 to take a charge on that play,
no,
would you risk your life?
No, absolutely not.
Maybe $500 for me, but
actually, yeah. To be fair, there's a price. There's definitely a price.
Well, again, another pick and roll scenario with Del Pesh, this time with Rodney Glasgow Jr. It's all Sheffield Sharks at the moment. Stanley pump fakes. He's made 2 threes.
Why not?
Unable though, but a big offensive rebound by William Lee. Diving on the floor, Sharks come up with it.
Yeah, Manchester need to keep making it scrappy here.
See if they can come up with a steal.
Well, they go to Delpesh again. Well, he's unable to put the putback in. Well, 3 players around him. Nobody was able to stop him from getting a putback.
Yeah, Manchester need to make sure they're just limiting Sheffield to 1-shot possession if they're going to have any hope of coming back into this one.
Well, it's just been a very, very tough. I mean, this game started with good tempo. Both teams going right back and forth at each other, but you know, you got to give credit where it's due here for the Sheffield Sharks. You mentioned this. Early on, they're not renowned for putting on the tempo high, but this team did click it on in the second part of the first quarter defensively. They have caused all sorts of problems to the Manchester Giants.
Yeah, I think that with them, along turning up the heat, and they're just generally a good defensive team. You know, they get you out, they junk you up a little bit, get you out your rhythm. So, yeah, don't make mistakes. So I think there's a lot of credit to the Sheffield defense today.
Nichols goes in, just finishes a tough one off the bank. Biggest lead of the game at 23 points. You have to remember last season, you know, quite a few faces were around last season. They're one of only 2 teams who were able to beat the London Lions not once, but twice last year.
They beat them twice. One was at home, one was their place, right? Yeah. Yeah, they put in some good performances this year and last year.
Again, you know what it's like when you have a group of players who are hungry, determined, want to buy into a philosophy, but knowing full well that if you can be principled within that team system, you got a big and bright future, especially here in the international world of basketball. 5:02 to go. It's one of a timeout at the moment, but that's tough. And Giants calling timeout, down by 23. The prospects of no postseason. It's got to be all about pride now.
That's it. That's absolutely it. That's what I'd be saying. You're not playing the score anymore. You're not beyond playing the score. You've got to play every possession, get the most out of every offense, limit 1 shot on defense, and yeah, just chip away at this. That's what you can do. Like you said, it's pride. You don't want to go out sad.
Well, of course, Basel fans, the postseason is upon us very soon, but make sure you book your tickets on the 19th of May to go to the O2 Arena to watch the 2024 British Basketball Playoff Final. Again, the O2, as we mentioned, a fantastic arena, hosted some great finals in European basketball and in the British Basketball League. And get your tickets today. It's on the 19th of May. And, you know, Josh Still and I will be there.
Yeah, hopefully in one way or another. Hopefully I'll be playing.
You might be in row triple Z. You might be in the VIP section. But you know,
no. I'm hoping to be on the court, mate. I'm hoping to be on the court.
Sorry, Bob. I'm hoping to be on the court.
Yeah.
Of course, the playoffs will be upon us very soon. You know, I asked this question to you earlier in the day. You know, you said you don't mind who you meet in the playoffs, whether it's the Lions, whether it's the Cheshire Phoenix. You're not so looking forward to the prospects of traveling far to Scotland. I mean, Scotland being a beautiful country, of course, but
absolutely,
you know, 3 teams that you could be meeting. It could be very, very interesting who you do meet in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it is, and to be honest, you know, I like anybody. I'm a competitor. We're all professionals, and you know, playoffs shows up on the day. I think we've been tested enough this season and shown that we can play with a lot of people. So I think we can put ourselves in a good position to win games.
Well, nice post move by Delpesh, but talking about your potential playoff prospects. Yeah, your head coach, Lloyd Gardner, one of our colleagues who is here on the commentary, I think he said recently when he was doing analyst commentary here in the British Basketball League that he felt London Lions, and I could be wrong on this, I thought this is what he said, London Lions were a better matchup for you guys.
Yeah, and he probably feels that way because we've had some better games against them, but the caveat is, I will say, there hasn't been a full Lions roster. And we haven't had that kind of matchup yet with Cheshire, but we go and see them this weekend, and you know, I'm hoping to give them a reason to, to be at least worried about us in the playoffs.
Well, Basel fans, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back momentarily. 4 minutes, 33 seconds left for the Manchester Giants. Is a comeback possible? But for them at the moment, it could very well be all about pride. Give these fans, this sellout crowd, something to play for, as the prospects of the postseason could be limited, and a 5-second violation is going to be called.
Yeah, that's not how they want to start this final 5 minutes.
Callum Jones had no options to go for, and again, it's just... And they called a timeout with 5:02, of course, had another one. It's tough because, you know, everybody, you know, you want to see a team who's fighting for their playoff existence to try and give it everything. And when you're down by 25, excuse me, in front of the home crowd, it's very, very tough. But you got to credit Sheffield, though, Josh Steele. This team is terrific.
Yeah, they've come out here and taken care of business. They could have quite easily come in today, you know, haven't already qualified. Manchester maybe not being so strong. They could have come in and just, you know, just written this one off. But no, they've come in and they've taken this game.
Glasgow Junior now pulling up from 15. Well, when you're up by 25, that's not a bad shot, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the quality of the shots start to matter less, but I guess if you're going to do that, make it, you know, get an extra point, get behind the line.
He pulling up for a three-pointer. Delpesh, hand his face, cutting it down at 22. 3:43 to go here in the fourth quarter. Last season in the BNXT League, which is the combination of the Belgian and the Dutch League, something similar. Team was down, I think it was double Z Leiden that would double, well, so, excuse me, were down by something similar. They came back within 2 minutes, but...
It's modern basketball. Lots more threes are being shot, so, you know, there's no such thing as a big lead. Leads can shrink instantly.
Well, 3 minutes and 33 left. If a comeback was to happen, it might very well be the greatest comeback of 2024.
I'm here for it.
Me too. Well, Evan Walsh back in the game here for the Giants. Because one thing I've been very impressed with the British Basketball League, especially in the last 2 to 3 seasons, and I'll put you in this argument as well, is seeing the amount of great British talent coming back to play in this league. You know, every league has a good identity of, you know, top teams. You can talk about German basketball, French basketball, whether it's the Greek league, the Italian league. Those are great leagues, of course, with great teams. But you might often see that the best players from those countries play in those leagues. And I think we're slowly seeing that more and more here in the British Basketball League. Evan Walsh, yourself, of course, London Lions, bringing back the likes of Gabriel Olesheni. It's a promising sign for British basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good start. You definitely like to see it more. You're right. Like, the strength of the league and, you know, the players that are the domestic players playing in that league, like, directly correlates to national team strength. So
sure, we
only want to see more British players come back and play on home soil.
Well, there's the pump fake by William Lee. Nice move. Unable to get it. Delpesh. You know, when you played for Manchester 2 seasons ago, the idea of Dan Clark, who's your current GM at Surrey, playing in this league, I mean, that's something we would never have imagined about 10 years ago. People need to remember.
I didn't believe it when it was happening.
Well, do you know the story about how he ended up in Spain? He went to a summer camp in Granada for the Estudiantes, played one-on-one with one of the second-team players and dunked on him and destroyed the player. 14 years of age, and the Estudiantes didn't think twice about it. They were an established ACB team and took a young 14-year-old Dan Clark in their academy ranks. And the idea of getting someone who was Olympian, Andrew Lawrence, coming back in this league, only shows the exponential growth of the British Basketball League.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are guys that are invested in the growth of the league as well. So they want to come back, they want to help it grow in whichever way they can. You know, Andrew's doing coaching, so obviously he's trying to help basketball in the area. Dan's obviously GM, and he's trying to improve the team. So I think guys, it's important, obviously guys playing, but, you know, also guys maybe at the tail end of their career, how do we fit in and, you know, be a cog in this machine.
Well, the Giants giving time now to the academy player Matthew Goodwin, number 3, checking into the game. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Well, tomorrow's the anniversary when Sheffield Sharks broke the hearts of Manchester fans at the Manchester Arena with the Terrell Myers. And the great Dan Rowlett said, Myers for the league. And tonight, Sheffield again will pile the misery on us. Now they will eliminate Manchester from any playoff contention. It's always been a bit of a rivalry between the counties of Yorkshire and Lancashire.
Yeah, it has. I didn't quite realise. I didn't realise the rivalry went that back that when it was that strong.
Sheffield only joined the British Basketball League, I believe it was in the 1994-95 season. They were called the Punchford Steelers in the...
Steelers?
I believe they were, yeah.
Great name.
It was a great... I didn't think about that for a second. I was thinking more of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. City of Steel, man.
Well, they could get 0 fans and be called the Betters, of course, so I'd go with the Steelers for sure, but obviously Sheffield being renowned for a Steel City. Well, Goodwin, wow, that would have been something there for the young player.
Yeah, good opportunity for him to just come in and get some live reps, you know. Dead time, garbage time, whatever you want to call it or not, just being out there is different to practice.
Credit to these Manchester Giants fans still chanting. Even as this game is drawing to its final stages, Evan Walsh coming up with a steal. Goodwin here in the backcourt, playing with Walsh and Nicholas Lewis. Lewis tries to fire a deep three, it's up, and it's all a consolation here at the moment for the Giants. Well, Lewis is going to get called for the foul. So Montgomery, well, they're in the penalties, yeah, so Montgomery now. There will be an upgrade. No upgrade, of course. Montgomery will be going to the free throw line. Well, interesting though, the first time Sheffield Sharks actually won a playoff championship, they've been in the league, came to the league 94-95, and they've been actually one of the strongest teams. I mean, the great John Amici actually played for them briefly in 97-98, but they didn't actually win their first playoff championship until 2004. So as great as they've been at winning leagues and cups and trophies, it's quite a long time of dominating the league and then to win the postseason.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're pretty consistently a good team in this league. They just don't finish that well in the postseason. I'm sure that's a topic of discussion in the front office and something they're trying to change.
I think they're just gonna. They've called the foul Montgomery, I believe, but the official's going to continue with play. So referees Steve Ellis, Kevin Kinsella, and our crew chief referee Kate Unsworth. I think they've done a relatively good job here this evening. I mean, it's not easy being a referee for sure, but
not at all. People always make mistakes, but I think this has been pretty fairly officiated.
Lewis now going for another three. Hit his last one, a double consolation here for Nicholas Lewis, cutting it down to 20-point deficit with 1:06 to go.
Like we said, it's all for pride now, so you're just playing hard. You don't want to go out sad. It's the worst thing you can do.
You know, Josh Steele, the one thing I've got to talk about here is I've been so impressed with these Giants fans this evening. You know, what I want to see continue to develop and progress is the identity of every fan base here in the British Basket. Yeah. We've got some great fan bases. Newcastle, Leicester, Surrey Scorchers. We saw the other night in the Euro Cup, London Lions fans. I tell you what, that was a phenomenal atmosphere as well.
No, I heard someone sent me a shot when people were chanting. Yeah, it feels kind of alien seeing that from an English crowd. But yeah, I want to see it more.
But coming to these games, enjoying the occasion, and be proud of the team you support, that's what we want to see continue. And having a sellout crowd here this evening, it's a plus sign here for the Giants. They may not be heading to the postseason, but giving these fans something to play for the last few games is going to be key for these players. Cook is going to draw the foul against Austin Lawton. There's going to be 2 free throws coming up for Bennett Cook. Well, Bennett Cook is great as a player as he is. I think I've always tried to figure out is the shot mechanics.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're gonna break it down here
I think we're gonna have to break it down.
We're gonna have to break it down here now. No, that's not a problem.
It's a high release, but it's like a right there. It's like a.
He has a hitch in his shot. It's not recommended by shooters. You want to shoot in one motion, that's for sure. But like I said before, you know, shooting mechanics are kind of individual. It's different for everybody. So you get enough reps in, and it works for you. It works.
But his post play is great.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Turnaround jump hooks is everything.
Nothing, but it's a different kind of shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, different kind of shot.
It's still better than mine. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue that. Well, 8 seconds difference. Trying to throw off there. Well, should the young fella have gone for the fadeaway?
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. He either had a really tough shot or he was going to travel. So I understand what he was thinking, but the pass just wasn't there.
Well, good with getting on the perimeter.
He shoots that one.
Second three, no problem. Oh, young fella. There's an experience to build on. Well, again, Basel fans, what a terrific game it's been here for the Sheffield Sharks. As Nicholas Lewis as well. I think he was passing the ball to the ref. I thought he was.
Yeah, not quite sure what happened at the end there.
Well, he's still having a few words to the officials, and I'm just wondering. Yeah, I think he's been given.
He's been ejected?
No, I think he's picked up his 5th foul, but yeah, maybe. He's definitely had a moment there. Great player, Nick Lewis, offensively, but it's been a very tough season. He has fouled out of the game, so his evening is finished.
Yeah, it's a tough night for the Giants.
Because he did have quite a little bit to say to the referees out of frustration, because he felt it's a tough one, of course. I mean, he's trying to put pressure on, but yeah, the game is already over at this point.
Yeah, just a bit more of an emotional reaction there, you know. Obviously, you're not feeling the best. You know, you're down by however many. The game's not going your way. It's quite easy to just lash out at the referee, isn't it? But you're right, it's the end of the game. Is it really worth it?
Of course, even though they lost at the Copper Box, one of the best games I remember watching the Giants play this season was away against the London Lions, and they almost won it for that matter. Nicholas Lewis, I mean, he carried that team offensively. Granted, we talk about volume three-point shooting, but when you're hitting your three-pointers, no one can argue whether they're bad shots or good shots.
Absolutely not. They're just made shots, exactly. So yeah, if he gets going, yeah, it's dangerous.
A 21-point lead here for the Sheffield Sharks. 11.9 seconds left. Zyda Rock is going back to the free throw line. So surely a double take should be. Zyda Rock making the first free throw. So a foul was called against Nicholas Lewis, and then a technical was called. So it makes them both. 23-point deficit. Good getting the crossover on Montgomery. Tries another three. And that one's way off the mark. Well, Basel fans, we thank you for joining us here. Bristol Flyers fans, you can celebrate. You can take a sigh of relief. Manchester Giants will not be going into the playoffs as the Sheffield Sharks win this one at 23 points. And Josh, still, I got to ask you, what did everything go right tonight for the Sharks?
Well, everything did go right for the Sharks. I think, you know, from the get-go, they showed that they wanted to come and take this game. They weren't taking tonight off. Did a good job on the end defensively and converted shots on offense.
Of course, it's that time of game I'm going to ask you as the expert tonight. You've been a terrific, I mean, it's the second time we've commentated together, but who has been your player of the game?
I think for me, Bennett Cook has been the player of the game. I think, you know, Manchester were a little depleted on the inside with no Lige, and, you know, he's come in and, yeah, it felt like every time he had 2 feet in the paint, it was 2 points, and yeah, you can't really put a price on that. Even hitting some shots from the outside, I think he was big for the team tonight. Very efficient night.
And I like this pick you made it because it may not have been the top scorer tonight for the Sharks, but it was that third quarter we're looking at right now. He was simply unstoppable. They had no answer for him whatsoever.
No, absolutely. You know, I guarantee that had a lot to do with you know, breaking the spirit of Manchester early on in that second half.
Well, big win here for the Sharks. 23-point lead, 87-64. Tomorrow is the 25th anniversary when Sheffield broke the hearts of Manchester Giants fans. And again, almost 25 years later, they do it again, but this time they knocked them out of the playoffs. Well, now we're going to take a look at the key stats from this game as the Sheffield Sharks. They will take the honors, they will take the victory back to Yorkshire. Well, Sheffield for me tonight, I mean, defensively, you take a look at that, 20 turnovers for the Giants, Josh.
Yeah, it's hard to win basketball games like that, very hard. And then along as well, shooting 31% from the field. I think, like we touched on at halftime, I don't think they did a good enough job generating good shots. And, you know, I give credit to Sheffield's defense there.
I mean, 9 field goals out of 29 from inside the ring, but only getting to the free throw line with 7 attempts tonight as opposed to 25 for Sheffield. That was a very tough offensive performance for the Giants. Well, now we're going to look back. What's interesting, this victory for Sheffield, over all the games we've had this week in the British basketball, every visiting team has won. I don't know if that's ever happened before in British basketball. I may need to text Dan Rowledge, but there you can see Caledonia,
I'm sure he'll know.
Cheshire, Leicester, and again Caledonia, Plymouth, Newcastle, Bristol last night, and now Sheffield. It's away team weekend, isn't it?
I guess it is away team weekend.
Well, of course, what a wrap-up of games we've had here so far in the British basketball. We get a very, very good win for the Sheffield Sharks. Again, league standings, of course, that is going to be crucial now. If you look at this, Sheffield Sharks moving in the 6th place. You guys are currently, Scorch is talking about, you're only 3 victories away from them, but it's going to be very interesting to see between you and Bristol who is going to finish 7th, who's going to finish 8th, and who will match up with either the Lions, the Phoenix, or potentially the Gladiators.
Yeah, well, we have the head-to-head against Bristol. We swept them this year. So, yeah, we're just trying to chase wins and, yeah, try and move up, avoid London.
Well, again, there you can see standings here in the British Bass League. And, from tonight's game, Sheffield, serious playoff contender?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've shown, with this new style of play that they've got, pushing it as well as slowing it down, I think that's an interesting mix, something else they can go to. So, yeah, hopefully they have a better run in the postseason this year.
Well, Basel fans, next week, of course, you want to make sure you look out for the big game on Sky as Leicester will be taking on Bristol on Sky Sports. Make sure you tune on to that one. Tip off at 7:45 p.m. But as always, I'm Josh Bett. He's Josh Still. No April Fools, no joshing around. But we want to say thank you, goodbye, and we'll see you soon.